Drake's album is bad, but not for the reasons you might think. Welcome, everybody, to the Maj Toure Show. I am your host, Maj Toure. It is Friday, May the 15th of the year 2026. So they say. Welcome to the show. You guys know the routine. Hit that subscribe button. If you're watching on X, make sure you hit the repost button, share it all over the space. We got a call-in show tonight. Some of you are going to disagree with my take, and that's fine. I'm good with y'all disagreeing with my take. I want you guys to put a face to the name. Don't be a coward hiding behind an empty page. I want you to actually jump on and do all of that other good shit if you choose to. But nonetheless, guys, listen to the Drake album today. And first, let's talk about why I'm talking about this. You guys know we're going to talk about pop culture, politics, sports, all of those different things, and we are going to tie it into a solution. And one of the biggest solutions that we can identify is y'all, especially as it relates to pop culture, is always looking behind the scenes, always looking behind what's happening, always looking at this is the thing on the surface, what's the thing behind it. Tonight, I want to start with what's the surface. The surface is music. The surface is Drake's album. The surface is how horrible the albums are. They're horrible. We had 3 albums that came out by Drake. And it spawned so many horrible things in this short period of time. And we're going to go over a few of them tonight. One of the things that it spawned, outside of being a horrible album, was the cringe efforts. 1000% cringe. I want to show y'all this real quick. Damn it, I delete the joint. Look at this. This is the first thing that was cringe and horrible about the album. This is the White House misappropriating or culturally appropriating Drake's Iceman album. Horrible. So that's the first thing. I want to deal with that. That's the worst thing I've ever seen. That's number one. But this wasn't everything, guys. I mean, listen, we're going to go through it all tonight. Now, I want to say this. Some of you are going to think that I'm being unnecessarily unfair on Drake tonight. And I'm not being unnecessarily unfair on Drake. I'm being extremely honest, and we're going to get the surface level things out of the way first. The surface level thing that this is about the music. And I want everybody to be very clear. My take on this album is that this album is 3, first and foremost. I want you guys to understand it. All right? It's 3 albums. The albums drop. No, everybody heard him saying the Iceman promo for Iceman. He didn't really want to promo it. You didn't really hear him talk about it, but it was coming out. You saw him shooting a video for it, or at least you alleged to see video shoots of it. And this is the album right here. All right? Now, part of me wants to play it so y'all can hear it, but another part of me doesn't want to play it because it's trash. It's trash. That's it. The very first 10 seconds of listening to it, I knew it was going to be bullshit. And I'll say this because I want to build you guys. I want to get all of the surface shit out of the way first. I initially thought that this album was going to be trash. I thought the album was going to be trash because of these factors. You were a part of one of the biggest beefs or battles in hip hop history. The battle between Kendrick Lamar and Drake was the stuff of legend. Battle raps back and forth, this. Kendrick ultimately taking the victory title in this battle. I remember shouts to the Danza Project. I had a great episode of the Danza Project down in Miami. Most of y'all don't even know I was on the Danza Project. Go check it out. The first hour we talked about the Drake shit, right? And so many, I was over it because I didn't care about the Drake Kendrick beef. There was so many jewels that I had in that interview about real shit that got overshadowed because the first hour we were talking about the Drake and Kendrick shit. If you guys get a chance, go over to the Danza Project or go on YouTube and type Maj Toure, the Danza Project. Skip past all of the Drake shit, whatever. And that's a part of the reason what we're going to do tonight. But we're not going to skip over it in the sense of we need to build around it. So the album was trash. You were a part of the largest hip-hop battle in hip-hop history. It's been about 2 years since that situation came out. And we wanted you to show up. I think most people wanted Drake to win. I think there's a sense of everyone seeing that the industry started playing games with Drake. And we're going to go through that tonight. The industry started playing games with Drake. They started saying, yo, the bots, they started getting behind Kendrick Lamar, his own label, UMG, Universal Music Group. And we'll go into some of these things in detail tonight. This is where the lawsuit came. This is where Drake said, okay, I'm going to have to sue these guys. I'm going to have to sue them. If you guys were not aware, Drake is not on Young Money, Cash Money anymore. All right? He fulfilled that obligation years ago. Let's read real quick. Drake signed a massive expansive partnership with Universal Music Group in 2022, estimated to be worth roughly $400 million or more. The deal, often described as a LeBron-sized, multifaceted agreement, covers his recordings, publishing, merchandise, and visual media projects. In essence, guys, it's a 360 deal. Structure. It's a comprehensive deal with UMG's Republic Records, often referred to as a 360 deal, which includes licensing of his masters and ownership of his publishing catalog, a deal structure that UMG CEO Lucian Grange has described as a significant investment in Drake's career. Upfront payment. Reports suggest Drake received a massive upfront payment in 2022, which he allegedly recouped quickly. Recoup meaning he paid back what he owed the label. Controversy and legal action. Very important. We're going to jump past a little bit right now. We're going to jump past and go back. We're going to jump past the music for 1 second and talk about the business. In 2025, the deal became a focal point for controversy as legal filings surfaced showing that UMG owned a large portion of Drake's recording catalog. Reports in early 2025 indicated that Drake's deal was up for renegotiation around that time. The deal solidified UMG's hold on one of the highest selling artists in music history. Let me stop right there. I put that in the mix to let everybody understand, okay, that this is the backdrop of all of this. You're my label. I have a deal. We have a partnership involved. And it seems as if you are supporting my rival. If I'm in the middle of a battle, if you're my label, I need you with me. Okay? So that's that part. Drake feeling like you guys not with me. Y'all are doing all of the bot spins. You guys seem to be getting behind the they not like us. They not like us thing. If we a team, we a team. But it's not a team. It's a business. And the business is cutthroat. So let's listen to this. Now, we fast forward a bit to Drake's defamation case against his record label at the time, UMG. Right? Well, everybody was talking about, oh, he sued Kendrick Lamar. That's not gangster. That's not battle rap. That's not hip hop. You people were doing the same thing that most people are doing today. They're evaluating the music. They're looking at the surface. If you're a solutionary, we do not only look at the surface. We do not only look at the surface. We look at what is actually happening behind the curtain. Sometimes, when I'm not talking, when you don't see me being active, I'm doing things behind the scenes to make the surface be more solid. We got to get our infrastructure together. Okay? That's what's happening here. So I'm telling you guys some of that. And when everybody was like, oh, he's suing Kendrick Lamar, what part of the battle game is that? Because you people don't think about business. Those people were not thinking about business. They were thinking about the music, the battle. And I get it from an artist or a consumption perspective. I want my artist to give me good music. This album, these 3 albums were not good music. But here's why I'm still more so on Drake's side. Tonight, y'all gonna get why I'm saying in this moment, I don't give a shit about the music. I'll be very clear. These 3 albums, or I don't think, let's go with Iceman. Let's go with the namesake. Let's go with that. The namesake of this album is 1,000, like it's just trash. Okay? It's 1,000% trash. That's the namesake of the album. Okay? If you're focused on the album, if that's what you're focused on, you're not paying attention to all of these other things. And I like a lot of times when people think that they know what's going on, and because they don't have any confirmation, they just start saying shit. You shouldn't do that as a solution. But let's play this part right here about the defamation case. Let's play this real quick.
Is here to break it all down for us. So, Brian, the judge says Not Like Us wasn't defamatory because in the context of a rap battle, reasonable people know the accusations they're making against each other aren't fact. So does that mean you can say anything about a rival in a rap battle?
So I wouldn't say you could say anything about a person in a rap battle, but I will say that the judge looked at this from a holistic context of not only the fact that this is opinion and not fact, the context not just of the single song Not Like Us, but of all the songs in these diss tracks, and maybe even going a little bit into the history of how diss tracks operate, as you saw Mike Muse opining just a few moments ago. But he looked at it and said, there's no reasonable person who's going to listen to this and look at this and say, you know what, I think that Drake is, in fact, a certified pedophile, understanding that we know he has no criminal record or no allegations that have gone through the court system with that. And so I think the judge said this is opinion, not fact, and therefore not protected on the First Amendment and not defamatory.
The judge also threw out the New York State business claim, questioning Drake's sources of info there. What do you make of that ruling?
Yeah, so don't forget, this is about a motion to dismiss. It's about the level of information that a judge is reviewing to see whether or not this case should go before a jury. And the judge looked at this and said, for the most
This is true, but not really true. This is true, but not really true. This conversation doesn't have anything to do with the other parts of the lawsuit. Okay? So I just want to tell you, the media made it look like Drake is suing Kendrick Lamar or the label directly for saying XYZ about him certified pedophile. Da, da, da. And then the blogs picked it up, and that was a distraction from all of the other conversation. All of it. None of that, none of the other thing, the 18,000 things that was going on got any love. But that's usually what happens. People latch on to one thing and they have no understanding of the other things, so they just go with that. And it makes it actually even fucking worse. All right? So I just want to give y'all some of the backdrop of that. Again, I am on record for saying that this album is trash. It's trash. With it being trash, I will also say I am so glad that it is trash. 1,000%. 1,000% glad that it's trash. 1,000% love that it's trash. Because now that it is trash, the other conversation can be presented. All of those things can be presented. When we're having a conversation about the $400 million situation, $400 million deal that he recoups. Now we got to have a conversation about, we get this album out of the way. So let's read this right here. Drake finally unveils Iceman. A surprise. Drops 2 more albums. 2 more albums. Let's read this real quick. What would be the reason, guys, that he would drop 2 more albums? Says the rapper premiered the new record alongside Habibti, I guess I'm saying that right, and Maid of Honour. After 2 years, Drake fans can rejoice. The embattled rapper has finally released his new album, Iceman, featuring cameos from Shane Gillis and DJ Academics. And Academics has been like super like all the way on it, like almost in a scary way. Almost in a scary way. I'm looking at this and I'm like, Ack, what are you talking about? I'm kind of like an Ack as a streamer, but at the same time, I'm looking at Ack and his attachment to this Drake album after listening to it. I'm like, this album's trash. But they got a relationship. Is what it is, right? But nonetheless, at the end of the Iceman live stream, Drake pulled 3 hard drives and text on the screen revealed, I made this so I could make this. Another display showed the title of 2 more surprise albums, Habibti and Maid of Honour. All 3 LPs simultaneously dropped on Friday. Back-to-back records arrived with mountains of anticipation as Drake's first solo album after his 2024 feud with Kendrick Lamar, whose diss track, Not Like Us, won multiple Grammys and reframed the chart-topping rapper's public image for the worst. After years of speculation, the album offers fans a window into how Drake felt about the highly publicized battle. The LP features production from longtime collaborator Noah 40 Shabib, as well as a host of names including Overxt, whoever, OK, and more. Blah, 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 yada, 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 right? Why would Drake put out 3 albums after he presented it as 1 album? What would be the reason for that? All right? This is the question that leans into the actual infrastructure, not the surface. Why is that? Well, let's go back in history a bit. This is the artist formerly known as Prince. I don't know if y'all remember this. Y'all might not know all of this situation. Okay? Back in the day, Prince wrote slave on the side of his face. And in the process of writing slave on the side of his face, he had back-to-back issues with his label. Okay? From his first album with Warner Music in 1978 to his current ambivalent relationship with Digital, the Purple One, who has compared contracts to slavery, has a nearly 40-year history of battling for control over his music. Prince is not exactly renowned for his straightforward relationship with record companies. In his latest stand against the industry, the Purple One has reportedly once again compared a record contract to slavery, echoing his very public fight with Warner in 1993. As much as we can trace his artistic trajectory through his music, often astonishing, we can also track Prince's career through his tumultuous and sometimes contradictory dealings with the industry. The cult years, 78, da-da-da-da-da, blah, da-da-da-da, right? The fallout with Warner and the birth of Symbol, 93 through 96. And the build up to the release of the Gold Experience, Prince and Warner were at loggerheads over both money and his music. He decided to take the battle public by appearing with the word slave written on the side of his face. His argument was that he signed to Warner and they, as a result, owned and controlled his names as well as any music released under that name. He changed his name to that of a symbol and was referred to variously as Symbol, Squiggle, or the artist formerly known as Prince. This coincided with George Michael's ill-fated attempt to get out of his contract with Sony, which he had termed professional slavery, meaning the record labels had a serious PR hands they could not afford to lose. Unable to break free completely, Prince fulfilled the terms of his contract with a rapid run of albums, some of which were regarded as a shameless purging of studio tapes and offcuts just to make up the numbers. What we are watching right here in real time is Drake getting out of his contractual agreement. At this point is where I say I do not give a fuck about the album. I don't give a fuck about the album at all. I don't care. Okay? Too many times, well, I'll say it this way. A Drake does not need a label in any way, shape, or form. And when someone, a company, right, there's mutually beneficial situations, right? Artists struggle at times, label struggles at times. It's a business, right? But when you get in a situation with somebody, a company, and they're basically promoting that you're a pedophile, that they're going out of their way to attack you on different levels while you're struggling, and you go through that, one of the best things to do is to stop. Before you even get angry, we deal with conflict resolution and avoidance. I am a fan of de-escalating and avoidance. So if we got into this thing, I've recouped the money, $400 million, or I'm struggling through a fight even after I recouped, and we got a business dealing going on, and I have a structure and contractual structure in my deal that says I can do this and this, and you're going out of your way to be negative, to attack, to do all of those different things, at a certain point you go, fuck it then. Fuck it. Fuck it. You don't understand that these, like, when somebody, I don't think people get this, and I hate when there is a pile on. I hate it. The stress that artists, people in the public light, the whatever, the shit that they go through, that they quietly deal with, depression, addiction, all of these different things. The label, the executives, the suits don't have to deal with none of that shit. So when Prince is saying slavery or this, that, and the third and all that other shit, it's not, obviously, it's not actual slavery. It's not actual slavery. Duh. However, this person is putting their life into a situation. You have no idea what the fuck they're going through. The scrutiny, to this, to that. And I think, okay, we doing a 360 deal. We in this. We both got some skin in the game together. And then you go do things over here to feed my ops that is literally calling me a fucking pedophile. Okay, I'm going to look at the contract if we got one. Since we not playing fair, and since you talking all of this shit, and you doing all of these things on the back end, when I came to you in a moment of fucking vulnerability, Lucian Grange, and said, yo, I'm fucked up right now. I've been earning for however long, but you see it's fucked up. And then you do all of this sidebar shit, fucked up shit. It could be something as simple as speaking to somebody the wrong fucking way. You do that? Okay, let me look at the contracts. So here's a breakdown of Drake's situation. As of May 15th, 2026, Drake has not officially confirmed the fulfillment of his contract, but he is strongly suspected of using a triple drop of new albums, Iceman, Habibti, and Maid of Honour, to trigger an exit from his massive 2022 deal with Universal Music Group. The strategy aims to burn off contractual obligations rapidly to secure independence. Key details in the potential exit. The strategy. By releasing 43 tracks at once, industry analysts speculate Drake is hitting his album quota in a single move. Contractual status. While the new projects are still released via OVO Republic UMG, this flooding technique mimics strategies designed to satisfy complex, high-value deals. Remember we just talked about Prince? That shit happened 20, 30, 40 years ago. 93, 30 years ago, right? The motive. The potential exit follows a tense period, including a lawsuit filed by Drake against UMG regarding the treatment of his feud with Kendrick Lamar and lyrics on a new project hinting at wanting to be free. I want to say this. If I've recouped and I've helped you and I've come up with ways, the worst thing that you should do is try to fuck. You understand? I don't give a shit about the music at this point. In my opinion. Fuck the music. Here's the funnier part about this, guys. In the middle of all of this, these albums were allegedly, these three, because I was saying, yo, why would he show up with these bullshit ass albums within 2 years? This whole 2 years of us waiting for this thing. he's got to know, he's got to be able to read the room. He's got to be able to say, okay, I'm going to come out swinging. When I listened to the album, the first thing that I thought was, first 10 seconds in, he didn't intro this right. The sequence of the album, it got to be, Iceman, it got to be cold, it got to be direct, it got to be this, right? It didn't come off that way. The first thing I thought, I promise you, in 30 seconds, this album's going to be trash. That's what I thought. Okay? And I know that Drake knows how to rap very well and do melodies very well and all of these different things. But based on these self-funded albums that took the 2 years, and you hide them and act like it's a secret and you're going whatever, you don't recognize that these people are going, yeah, we're going to have something good. At the same time, he's fulfilling his contractual obligations. And allegedly, this is a partnership deal from 2022 where he can self-fund because he's already recouped. He recouped off of the 400 or the advance that they gave him for the $400 million deal. And if he gives them 3 trash albums, which these are, and if he's got a 360 deal, okay, cool. I've fulfilled my obligation. I've recouped what I've already paid you, the money that you have advanced me. I'm one of the largest artists in the world. I don't need the pressure of you bothering me, fucking with me. Let me make the art and get with you. He did a Frank Ocean. He did a Prince. Okay? So instead of focusing on letting this person cook, they went out of their way to bother this person. Now they lost a potential cash cow as he's on his way back up. So he hits him with the 3 self-funded albums. He did what he had to do. He hit him with the 3 self-funded albums. And in the process of hitting him with the self-funded albums, now, allegedly, there is a private equity firm that has a $2 billion deal on the table. Another 360 deal. $2 billion. At a certain point, you do not need the label. So when I say Drake's album is bad, but not for the reason everybody says, it's because I'm glad. And looking further in how they were trying to handle him, how they were lying, how they were promoting, not like us, because they have money over there too. They were promoting that over there. He's like, yo, I know it's been a struggle, I'm in a rumble, but I thought we was team. I'm glad that the fucking albums were bad. Because now I've recouped what money I needed to give you guys. Now you got the catalog. Okay, cool. Here's a part of the catalog. These 3 are trash. Any business company that understands this goes, we see exactly what you did. We see exactly what you did. We want to be a part of a different situation with a bigger $2 billion deal on the table. Guys, remember, because some people will say, well, what would be the reason that UMG would sign off on that? I heard a few people say that. Actually, let me pull that up real quick. Actually, let's check this out real quick. This is Z, who's record label involved, right? Drake's current deal is a licensing agreement giving UMG the right to commercially exploit his music for a set period. That's why they released the bundle he self-leaked. Once the term ends and the advance is recouped, Drake regains full rights to his music. UMG owns nothing. So that's one. They have a time period. Okay? There's another thing that happens in contracts in record labels. After like 30 years or something, I don't know if they've renegotiated that deal, that situation over time. But after a lot of artists get control of their masters like 30 years after. Jay-Z's Reasonable Doubt, this is the 30th year anniversary of that album. He's not making shows in Yankee Stadium because he just wants to relive the Reasonable Doubt era. It's because he has ownership of the masters now. Okay? It's not about the music. It's about the business. This is running around on Reddit, and I wanted to address this too, because some people think that it's oh, well, UMG, he finessed him. They didn't have control. Stop it. They couldn't stop it. Let's read. Why did UMG let Drake finesse? With Drake releasing 3 new albums last night, I've been seeing discussion regarding the fact that he did this so he could fulfill the rest of his deal with Universal Music Group quickly. It got me thinking, though, don't record executives have to sign off on an album before it's released? Why would they let him finesse them like this and fulfill the rest of his contract in one night rather than releasing the other 2 albums, Maid of Honour and Habibti? Iceman was already playing over the course of 2-3 years like normal. Why did the record label let this happen? He's one of the biggest artists in the world, so there's no way they wanted him off their roster. I want to be very clear. Until you know all of the specifics of the contractual agreement, and based on the things that I've saw in a cursory glance, okay? Cursory glance. Because of the fact that we don't know, cursory glance, based on those minimalistic things that I've saw, he has a licensing deal. They have it for a time. I'm willing to bet that they can't deny his releases. I'm willing to bet that he had enough leverage in that contract to be able to say, yo, I get to release, I get to put the stuff out, because they're like, okay, cool. We have first dibs. We have a 360 deal for this amount of time. So when he gives them mid-ass album, 3 of them, yeah, you guys, I got the money. You guys now still have the product. I am contractually no longer obligated to you. I can go do a different deal somewhere else. I'm willing to bet that contractually they couldn't stop him from releasing those 3 albums. I'm willing to bet that those contracts say that UMG could not deny his submissions because it's a partnership. So I self-funded the albums so I don't have to go into more debt with you. He probably got beats from people because everybody on it that's focused on the music is like, oh, the beats is trash. He got Noah, 40, a couple of other people to make some beats, whatever. It's a couple of joints on there. So he got the albums done for cheap. He self-funds them so he doesn't ask the label for any more money because then he would have to recoup that. He self-funds it, basically independent. They can't stop him on the release of them, and they know that it's done, but you guys make the best of it. Make the best of it. You got the 360 deal on this for however long. Who's to say if he wants to do a world tour or not? I wouldn't. So he's self-fund. This is a partnership deal. Y'all probably can't deny his submissions. He got a blueprint of a Frank Ocean, a Prince, a Michael Jackson, a Beyonce, who's also independent. We don't know. Unless it is specifically, if it came out and if it was trash, either the labels don't understand the culture and trash music, or they couldn't stop it from coming out. Either way, it's a win for Drake. So I'm of the belief that they couldn't stop it from coming out if it's out. Okay? And the reality is, anything else they could have held over his head, he recouped a long time ago. Drake was making the decision to operate in good faith in the middle of a fight. He made a decision to operate in good faith at one of the lowest points of his career. I can totally relate. The entire industry, the last week, few days before the album's supposed to drop, everybody that was trying to diss him tries to figure out a way to Rick Ross. Oh, come on, homie. We want to see you win. After he spent time shitting on Drake, everybody turned his back on it. So what did Drake do? Since the industry turned its back and attempted to attack Drake, thinking that, hey, I'm on board with you because you're the guy that's holding up hip hop and damn near pop culture, Drake decides to say, okay, not only am I not fucking with anybody, now I'm deciding to overturn the entire concept of music. Drake, mark my words, Drake will not have another record deal. When a private equity firm presents a $2 billion deal. Once the money is there, and we're talking about licensing, we're talking about image and likeness, we're talking about these things, you don't need a record label to do that, especially when you're one of the largest artists in the world. Drake did not need them. Drake fulfilled his obligations to the contract. Drake was saying, let's be in this fight together. Let's partner. But they couldn't take a moment. They saw some money over the table to disrespect Drake and said, yo, I'm going to start saying feeding fucked up shit by getting the bots to promote and push the They Not Like Us song where you're literally saying, I am a pedo. Huge shouts to the super chat. Let me get a shout out to that D Cent with the super chat. $20 super chat. Appreciate you, D. Shouts to all of the members, the channel members. Please support the channel. Go over, hit that membership button. It's like $2 a month. Y'all have no idea the finagling that I'm doing to make sure I'm still getting to y'all with this AI-generated backdrop to make sure that I'm getting y'all the show every night. I want to continue to make sure that I'm giving you guys perspective. You tap into the show for perspective. You tap into the show for things that have more to do with behind the curtain. Behind the curtain. And if you enjoy these types of takes, please consider, it's only $2-3 a month. Consider being a member to the channel. I would love for everybody watching the show tonight to be a member of the channel. I would love it. 1,000%. Okay? Would 1,000% love it. Everybody support that if you can. 1,000%. All right? That being the case, guys. That being the case. The conversation is more about the backdrop, not the music. When I started thinking about this and thinking about Prince, same thing happened with Sony, with Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson started getting slick and bought the Beatles catalog. Michael Jackson started becoming very, very crafty in his approach. Right? J Dawk says, bro is rapping his ass off and the production is amazing. If you don't get the fuck out of here, that shit is trash. I'm sorry, guys. It's trash. I'm glad it's trash, though. I'm glad it's trash. When you kick a man when he's down, when you kick a man when he's down, and he's been somewhat vulnerable to you, and that's what I think happened. I think Drake is, I'm a vulnerable guy myself, all right? I'm somewhat of a vulnerable guy, okay? So I can empathize with Drake. When you're somewhat a vulnerable guy, and these things, when you're at a moment when it's like Drake got his ass whipped with that They Not Like Us. To find out that your label is talking shit about you when you thought y'all was in it together, it's the worst. It's the worst. So you kind of go, all right, fuck it then. Fuck it. And that's why I am identifying with Drake. The entire label went against this dude. It wasn't about the merits of the battle. It wasn't about the merits of the battle. No, it wasn't. At all. It wasn't about the merits of the battle. It was about how they did the same thing when G Unit and Jimmy Iovine, Interscope Records, it was Interscope, Aftermath, G Unit. When 50 Cent started beefing with Game after he left G Unit, Interscope Records put money behind Game's beef with 50 Cent. 50 Cent has and still has the largest debuting hip hop album of all times. Get Rich or Die Trying did like 12 million records. Like however many in the first week was insane. So when this thing splits and Jimmy Iovine starts to bankroll Game to finance both, I thought we was in this together. Now, obviously, Game did not pose the same level of threat to 50 Cent's career that Kendrick Lamar potentially did with Drake. But that's that industry bullshit. Stop for a second and just chill. Let it be, hey, this is a hip hop battle, even though we have relationships with Drake, or excuse me, we have relationships with Kendrick. Drake's our guy. At best, we're going to stay out of this. Just stop shitting on people for a second when they're at their fucking lowest. Just stop. But that's not what these labels do. When they have what they think is a workhorse, they keep trying to beat the fucking workhorse and be disrespectful to the workhorse instead of just letting the art merit. So, okay, I'm going to give you bullshit like you giving me bullshit. Meanwhile, the general public that's not thinking about any of this part of the conversation, the general public is focused on something else. And I will admit, I was focused on it too. Yep. I'll admit. I was focused on it too. This is what I was focused on. Let me show you. I was focused on this. I was focused on the music. Stupidest thing I could have ever did. Being focused on the music. Stupid. And what the general public is doing is what the general public always does. Focus on the surface thing that has nothing to do with the actual real reasons, the real shit. Vincent Williams says, it's business. You play both sides. No different from Big and Pop. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. If I'm fucked up and we fucked up together because of my fuck up, or we got, even if we're not all the way messed up, right? Let's say we in this together. And I'll go back to the music real quick. I want to go back to the music. Now that y'all got this information, right? I think it's fair if we could go back to the music. Okay? I want to address this from Vincent, and then we'll go back to the music. Vincent says you play both sides, no different than Big and Pop. That's not my value system. That's not my value system. Okay? There are going to be times when you up. There's going to be times when you're down. If somebody's with you, let's say if I hit for $10 million, everybody that's with me when I didn't have $10 million, I'm breaking them off. But during the time until I get up, if you're fucking annoying and feeding my enemy or being disrespectful, I tap out. That's what I do. I suggest everybody do that. If it's tight for everybody, and if it's a rumble, when I come from, if we all trying to get to some money, we all selling apes outside, and we got one puff, we got one Newport, and everybody smoke, okay? We all going to get a little bit of puff of that Newport, and it's going to be cold, and we're going to figure it out. I do not submit to this thing about it's the business, play both sides. I don't submit to that, and it seems that Drake doesn't submit to that either. Because what he just did was turn the whole industry upside on its head. Drake, in essence, has just said, if you're an artist, you should not sign with a label if you got any motion whatsoever. There are private investment firms that will give you money. I could do the deal with them, and there is no industry politics. That's what I think Drake was expecting. That's what I think Beanie Siegel was expecting when Jay-Z was talking that Rock La Familia shit. And then you wouldn't even sign to bail him out when he caught his case, Jay-Z. Stop saying Rock La Familia shit. Stop saying, when I come to you and I'm vulnerable and I'm saying I'm fucked up right now, if I talk to you and I thought even if it's a little tight, if I talk to you and that's shitted on, I'm not talking no more. You do what you got to do. And I think that's the perspective that Drake, because this is supposed to be, the business is supposed to be big. The money going to come and go. We all going to get back up. So no, and I get it. That's how the industry look at it. Okay, cool. That's how the industry look at it. And that's fair. How does that help Universal Music Group? And in turn, Universal Music Group is a subsidiary of Vivendi. Universal Music Group got a bunch of bigger labels under their group. When you're an independent artist that is starting to move a certain way now, when you're looking at Drake, you go, oh, okay. I can just build my repertoire as an independent artist online, maybe not tour, maybe sell merch, get enough money off of it. A private equity group's going to show up and buy my catalog like they did with The Weeknd, like they just did with Nelly, like they just did with Wiz Khalifa. So Drake just said that the conversation around a label is damn near non-existent. Since y'all want to use this against me and disrespect me, I'm going to overturn the whole thing. Now you deal with it the way you want to fucking deal with it. I have no contractual obligation to you. But let's go back to the music for a little bit. Because I don't want, some of y'all going to be like, Maj, it can't always be about this. Give us some breakdowns of the music. Listen, okay, let's go back into the general public side of this conversation. What are the people saying about the music? The music. The album. Rap TV, rate Drake's Iceman 1 to 10. First person. He never miss. You can tell who's the Drake fans too, by the way. I like Drake. I'm not a Drake fan, but I like Drake. When Drake got some smashing music, I'm going to say it. When it's trash, I'm going to say it. These 3 albums are trash. But this person says, I'm doing what COVID did. They'll never get over it. Right? I don't get it. It's so mid. Where are the melodies? All the new songs are so mid. Jeremiah says 1.5 out of 10. 3 good songs combined on 3 albums. Bum ass album, bro. Drake fans glaze anything. Like this person. 10-10 already a classic. And maybe they being sarcastic. This is not a 10 out of 10. That's just what it is. Emma, I'm a Drake fan, but expected more. Marcus says this album is lasting a whole year in the beginning of 2027, not glazing. But no artist is dropping a better album this year. That's bullshit. I'm sorry, guys. It's bullshit. Iceman is a 10. Excuse me, Iceman is a 0. Habibti is a 3 out of 10. MOH is a 6.57. Okay. Bubba says, Drake drops 3 albums 45 minutes ago. We got people in the comments acting like they listen to all 3 albums. I just got done with Iceman. 8.5 out of 10, very solid. I mean, he literally carries hip-hop now, literally. That's bullshit. XF says, 0.5 out of 10. I don't know what y'all are enjoying. It sounds AI generated. This argument, all right, let's go talk about the music for a minute, y'all. Y'all could give me 5 to 10 minutes, right? Let's take all of what I just said about the business component out of the equation. Let's go back. Because I've told y'all that these 3 albums are trash. Okay? Let's forget. Go listen to all of them. Go buy them. Go support them. Go download them. Give me your perspective. 100%. Right? Form your own opinion. To me, Iceman is trash. Now, let's talk about the music and not the business. For 5 minutes. Then we're going to wrap up. 2 years of you holding out. 2 years of you seeing how many people turn their back on you. 2 years of seeing what this label did. You could have packaged all of this into one album, and it could have been the hardest hip-hop shit ever. You would have had a license to shoot at everybody, DJ Khaled. And I ain't talking about these vague subliminals that you did. We ain't talking about that. DJ Khaled, Kendrick Lamar, Jay-Z, Joe Budden, Rick Ross, shoot at all of the executives at the labels. You got court documents to see who got behind what. You could have rapped about exposing how they're using bots, but you can't to a certain extent, because then it would have exposed that you benefited from that system a bit. But I would have just said, fuck it. The whole bit's got to burn down. He should have came through so hard, so aggressive. I would have gave him 9 to 13 songs of just absolute terror, aggressive Iceman shit. But he didn't do Iceman shit. He went from talking about his emotions, about women and life, which I'm not mad at, to now talking about his emotions in a sing-songy format that was all over the place, that had no hooks, no memorable beats. Somebody, if y'all listen to it, right? If y'all listen to it, get the fuck out of here. JD Hawk says, I wish people listen to the music with the initial mindset to enjoy it rather than going into it with a critical mindset. Listen, the music has to be enjoyable. I had this conversation earlier today too, okay? This theory that there's a reason why turkey's got to go in the oven. A turkey is a robust, full bird, right? It got a slow cook all the way through. You can't put a turkey in a microwave and expect it to be delicious because of what it is. You can put a Swanson TV dinner in a microwave, and if you do it right, poke a little holes in that little plastic film. If you do it right and time it perfectly, that dinner, that Swanson TV dinner, is going to taste delicious. De-fucking-licious. But if you try to put a turkey in the microwave, or hell, if you even try to put the Swanson TV dinner in the oven and don't handle it properly, even if you keep the plastic film on, it's going to melt the plastic. If you take the plastic film off, it's going to dry out the food. It is designed for a microwave. A turkey is designed for an oven. The album, you talking about sit to listen to the album to enjoy it. You didn't give me an in-depth, robust enough of a meal for me to slow cook with it and let it sit. You didn't let me do it because it's a fucking TV dinner. It's not a turkey. I can't even get a moment to slow baste it and use the baster and get the juices from the turkey and baste it all over it and let it roast in there for 3, 4, 5 hours. I can't do it because of the product that it is. The songs, for business reasons, are put together to fulfill an obligation, not to be strong. He is one of the kings of hooks. He has not made hooks. The first 7 songs, you don't, like, real quick, JD Hawk, in the next 20 seconds, because it might be a delay, in the next 20 seconds, tell me the chorus of the first 3 songs. Don't Google it. Just let's work on an honor system. Let's work on an honor system. Don't Google it. Do you know why I know? I feel confident because you don't know, because he was just whining. The melodies aren't even right. The melodies are better on, if you're watching this is too late. Drake is a melodic motherfucker, which means I know that he's going out of his way to make the melodies kind of trash, because on his next project, independent or not, he gonna have bangers for everybody. That's what I think. No hooks, no legible. You don't even know what the songs are about. It's just endless fucking rambling. But I don't care. Because the label kicked that man while he was down. I believe that there were meetings going on, and Drake was saying, hey, we're going to do this, da-da-da-da. And then he found out that they was talking shit and backbiting. And then he was like, all right, fuck it. I'm not mad that these albums are all over the place. I'm not mad that his albums are all over the place. At all. These 3 albums are all over the place. They're sloppy. Matter of fact, fuck it. Let's listen to it. Let's listen to it, guys. Let's see if YouTube allows me to. Let's listen to it. First song, Make 'Em Cry. Oh no, that's not the first song. My bad. Yeah. Hold on. Oh, I guess it is. Make 'Em Cry. First song. Let's listen to 1. Let me know if y'all can hear this.
Ice. Yeah. I'm an only child, no one could have made another. I have to father my mother and treat my son's grandfather like my older brother. The skies are gray in Toronto, they not a golden color. I'm feeling like BTS, cause it took the whole...
Within 10 seconds of me listening to this, as the first song on an album titled Iceman, you're supposed to be cold. You're supposed to be aggressive. You're supposed to be like you from North Philly type shit. You're supposed to be not this. You coming in too relaxed and you got your incense burning. You too zen. You too zen for the moment. You too zen for the moment. We ain't got time for this zen shit right now, champ. We don't have time for zen. You are too zen for the moment. This man just was beating you up like Clubber Lang was beating the shit out of Rocky first time they fought. You had a whole industry against you. You had the bots. You carried hip hop and pop for a decade. And they turned their back on you. When everything was all good, it was no disrespect. Shit got a little tight for you, they disrespected you. You're not supposed to lead in with this soft shit. Tell me where I'm wrong. I don't care. J-Dog says, if you ever listen to Drake, he's never aggressive in the intro. The current reality calls for something else. If you can't read the room, Drake, I am a consumer. I'm telling you this is what we're looking for. That doesn't mean that you can't give us melodies. It means on the intro, when Jay-Z came out with The Ruler's Back, really tapped in. Jay-Z came with dissing. When he came back with the Blueprint, we dissing Nas. We dissing Mobb Deep. We dissing hardcore because that's what the environment called for. You pivot. You still be yourself, but you push. Y'all want him to keep, y'all, based on everything that has transpired as the consumer, I get to say, this is what I wanted to hear from this person. I don't want to hear, and even if you came through all melodic, your melodies are not good. Your melodies are not good. The song does not sound as good. Songs have structure. Intro, right? Verses, choruses, bridges, outro. None of that exists in this album. Maybe here and there. Maybe here and there. But it's not there. And you want me to act like this is like I'm supposed to be like, well, that's not who he is. Yes, it is. Hair done, chilled, hair sweats on, hair down, chilling with no makeup on. That's when you're the prettiest. I hope that you don't take it wrong. Baby, you my everything. You are. That's a chorus. That's a concept. You know what he's talking about. It has a subject matter. It has an intro, a bridge, a chorus, an outro, a strong hook. These songs are worse than that. Y'all want me to act like he's supposed to just stroll on in and be the same person based on what? Get the fuck out of here. Y'all tell me. Y'all tell me. Let's play another. Let's play a little bit more. In the chat, because I've been neglecting the chat for a minute. In the chat, tell me what y'all think about this song.
Whole career for me to be so discovered. I know for sure that my parents, they look at me and see an overcomer. I'm looking back at them and these days I see an older couple. I see my only uncle looking like this shit that I ain't owning up to. And if he said the way he really felt, I'll probably see his side because I'm old enough to. I'm looking at all my niggas, they say, bro, we love you. But all my words really the shit that they be going.
All right, what is this song about? Real quick. What's this song about? What was that song that we was just listening to? What is it out? What is it about? Tell me the name of the song. Don't look. Tell me the name of the song. Tell me the chorus. Tell me what the song is about. Anybody. Anybody. Tell me what the song is about. His childhood. We don't give a fuck about your childhood, Drake. We know your childhood. Oh, it's about his childhood. It's about his childhood. You was an actor on Degrassi. We already know. Fuck out of here. And as the consumer, I get to go, this is trash. We don't care. We do not care. It's the same as, because y'all going to say, Maj, you hating on Drake. No. I want Drake to win. I think he's been getting bullied by the industry. I don't like bullies. I don't like overly, unless we in a space where I can shoot you and you're going to shoot me, don't be aggressive with me. Don't. I care about the songs being relevant and all of that. I said the same thing about Andre 3000. I love Andre 3000's body of work generally. I think he's one of the most awesome people artistically. He can go to a place that most people can't. I don't want to hear your fucking flute album, Andre 3000. Fuck out of here. I don't care about you playing it. We don't care. We don't care. Listen to this. Not every song needs a chorus. Shut up. Every movie doesn't need a script. That's how that sounds. Every movie doesn't need a plot and a subplot and characters and character development and an intro. Then it's not a movie. It's rambling. Don't call it a movie. There needs to be a protagonist and an antagonist. And you need to write it where it's not predictable. That's what makes an awesome movie. I don't want to hear about your fucking flute album or your movie that has no coherent whatever the fuck. A song that doesn't have a chorus. Cool, let's say if it's one. This is why Michael Jackson is the GOAT. Because some of y'all going to say, well, it's about pushing. It's about the edge. Pushing, cutting edge. Nobody gives a fuck about. Michael Jackson was inventive, evolutionary, revolutionary, and still had a chorus on every motherfucking song. What is this song about? Liberian Girl. Michael Jackson, because I know some of y'all going to say, well, that's not really as artistic. It's boxing you in. Michael Jackson didn't even use words in some of his songs. And they still fit the formula of a song. Michael Jackson was not the best vocalist. But Michael Jackson still sung properly. I'll give you a perfect example. Shamona. That's not a word, guys. That's not words. But that shit still was fly and it fit and it was innovative because it was within the bridge of the song. Woo! Shamona. And you still felt it. Listen to me. The song, because we can say the music gives you a feeling. This song gives me no feeling. And when you factor in, we've waited, the consumer has listened and waited for 2 years for you to make your triumphant return. Some of us want you to win. Now again, take my music hat off, business hat, understand it, totally get it, he's winning there. Take the business hat off, put the music hat back on, you're not winning. I could also contend that an argument could be made that putting this out might have damaged the amount of money that you may be able to get from a private equity firm, because it shifts how you're viewed in the marketplace. I could argue that. You don't need a chorus for a song? That's like people that say, I'm making the music for myself. Cool. If you're making the music for yourself, listen to that shit in your fucking car, in the garage, in your studio. Don't bring it out to the public, because we gonna critique it. What I wanted, because somebody asked earlier, well, what did you care about? I care about relevant, dope-ass music. And it's preferable, because Drake could rap his ass off. It's preferable, to me, it's preferable if he throws some bars in that joint. I'm not mad at him. But I also go, he might smack him with the melodies. He could have went 13 songs. He could have went melody song, hard song, melody song. Hard song. The melody songs, he could have been disrespectful as shit to the executives. And the hard songs, he could have went disrespectful as shit to the hip hop artists, just to establish this where I'm at right now. I run this. I run it on the pop side. I run it on the hip hop side. Kenny, you on the stage.
Yo,
What's up? What you disagree with?
yo, why the fuck? What's with, like, bro, it's been 2 years. Can we stop, like, the TDE glazing? Like, who's your TDE handler, bro? Why you hating on this album for?
So if you think that so let me get this straight. You think that I'm paid by Top Dog Entertainment, people I've never fucking met before?
I don't know, bro. The anti-Drake propaganda is just too strong. You never know. TDE moving like Israel these days.
You have just, so let me just be clear. You have just said, you've compared TDE to the Israeli government. Is that what you're saying?
I don't think I stuttered, but yeah.
Okay. That's the most retarded shit in the world.
How?
I didn't even mention TDE.
Yeah, but like,
and wait.
Like,
and here's the other part. Here's the other part.
Right now in hip-hop,
a whole half hour of the show has been dedicated to me saying how Drake is winning against the corporate agenda. Did you miss that part of the show?
It's cope, and you're mad because the boy's back and it's gonna be a Drizzy summer. Stop playing, dude. I'm from LA, and I fucking think that Kendrick is I think Drake's way better than Kendrick, bro.
I do too. What are you talking about? I don't like Kendrick Lamar's albums. I think Kendrick Lamar's albums, last few, were trashed also. What the fuck are you talking about?
Okay,
are you new here?
I just want to know.
Wait, Kenny. Are you new here, Kenny?
I just want to know.
Kenny, are you new here?
I just want to know who your TDE handler is.
I want to ask you a question. What made the album good to you? What actually made this album good to you?
If it's a moment, it's historic, and it's something that we're going to be looking at. We can't really process the music right now because the music is too new. It's only been a day. But, bro, the rollout, the way it's been presented and everything, just, like, in general, is something that we've never seen before in hip-hop. And it's just kind of, like, cringe that people are just hating on this album because it's like, bro, like, you do something different, they hate on you. You do the same thing, they hate on you. So I don't understand, like, what your point is.
Did you hear the points that I just made about Michael Jackson being evolutionary, still staying within the structure of a song? Did you hear me say that? Or you had Drake's dick in your mouth too hard to hear me?
Bro, see, like, like, this is what I'm saying, bro. Like, the whole, like, I'm talking, who's your TDE?
You're a meat gobbler.
Who's your TDE handler, bro?
You're a meat gobbler. Let me be very clear, because I'll help you out. You must be new here, Kenny. Let me help you out. Kendrick Lamar's last 2, maybe 3 albums were ass as well.
Actually, GNX, I don't know where you're from, but I don't think you're from LA. To be honest, as a person born and raised in Los Angeles, I think that GNX is pretty good, but it definitely wasn't as good as you have to be, honestly, bro, you have to be from LA to really get GNX. So I don't blame you for not getting it because I don't think you're from over here, but what's it called? Go ahead. What were you saying?
Did you hear my last statement about Kendrick Lamar's last 2, maybe 3 albums?
Yeah, about how they were booty cheeks.
Trash. So did TDE pay me to say that too?
Maybe, I don't know, bro. You're doing all this anti-Drake propaganda. I don't know what's up with you, man.
You're equating. Wait, Kenny, did you hear the first half of this show? Let me just humor me. Did you hear it?
I didn't.
So
I don't give a fuck, bro. I heard what I heard, and I'm standing on business. Damn.
you standing on business? Standing on business? You are a dick rider.
Hey, look.
Get the fuck off my stage, bro. Yo. Oh my God. I can't. I'm sorry, guys. He didn't listen to the first half of the show. He didn't hear me say Drake is winning because it's the fucking dude. He's the dude. I'm saying Drake is 1,000% winning because of his corporate situation. I'm literally saying that. I say that, and then in the middle of me saying that, oh man, you're hating on Drake too much. Maybe I gotta, oh my God, yo. This is why I don't talk to people. I'm sorry, guys. This is why I don't talk to people. I don't talk to people because motherfuckers don't listen. I don't talk to people because motherfuckers, let me go back, guys. Let me go back real quick. Kendrick Lamar, his last one, maybe, like, I don't like They Not Like Us. I didn't like it from the beginning. I told y'all this. I said this however many years ago. I don't like the song. I think it's catchy. I think it's interesting, but I don't like the song. I don't like Kendrick Lamar's voice. I don't like that Kendrick Lamar's going, I'm not into that shit. I'm just not into it. And I'm not. And I'm not going to be into it. Like, it doesn't, like... No, Kenny, get the fuck out of here. Kenny talking about adding me back. I'm not adding you back, bro. If you're not going to pay attention to what I'm saying and fully have a fleshed out opinion, I can't take you serious. I can't. I just can't. It doesn't make sense. Kendrick Lamar's last album, maybe two, I'll say two, trash. Trash. Kanye West's last 3 albums, maybe 4, trash. Kanye went from classic albums, Graduation, Late Registration, College Dropout, classic albums. Classic. The music, the actual music. Lauryn Hill, The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, perfect album. Perfect. Lauryn Hill's second album, absolute trash. We don't got no picks. We don't got no picks. But somehow, people don't listen to what you tell them. They don't listen to what you got going on. They don't want to. That's fine. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say about this type of shit. Kenny says, Bookworm says, tell us why the album was good. I agree with you on the rollout. He said, history and in time, everyone will understand how powerful and beautiful Drake is. And he said all of this other shit. I'm telling y'all based on the music. Based on the music. The album didn't get good until Make 'Em Pay. This song was good. Sample?
Yeah.
Melodic?
I just wanna be free. I just wanna be
is his speed.
Free, free. I just wanna be free. Yeah. Look. Albany Marina, they done served us 100 subpoenas. I done got my shit inside arenas like Gilbert Arenas.
This is where the album starts to pick up. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the 7th song. This is the 7th song. Bookworm said, we're going to ban old heads from critiquing new music. I'm going to start a campaign. Start the campaign. Start the campaign. Let's just start the campaign. There's nothing to like. If the album was dope, I would say, I want to be very clear. I wanted Drake to win. I know, and I don't know that pressure. Let me be clear, because I don't want nobody to make it seem like I'm comparing myself with what I got going on to that level of pressure that Drake got going on. I'm not saying that. But I understand having your back against the wall and people not understanding how you got to move. I get it. And then you in a situation and you feel like somebody being disrespectful. Like that label got behind. I can only imagine, man. A label that you broke bread with, that you, if the deal was worth $400 million and he recouped the front that they gave him, and they have a 360 situation that they can eat forever or for an extended period of time. If we in this together, and I'm getting my ass whipped right now. I'm getting my ass whipped right now. And it's Rocky, and I'm like, he like, yo, just at least just let me cook. I don't need you to go support the artist that is saying that I sleep with children. I don't see how that's, so I understand and relate with Drake. I understand. What would have made it a solidified win? I'm going to give y'all a personal experience. This next phase that I'm going through, I say this to y'all damn near every night on the show now. When I get through this little phase, and it's looking up for me, right? When I get to this next phase, I'm shitting on everybody that gave up on me. 1,000 fucking %. 1,000%. But I know what it feels like. And y'all, most of y'all have no fucking clue what I'm talking about. But at the same time, I'm writing my own book. Literally, I'm writing a book. Okay? What I'm telling y'all is that pales in comparison to a machine promoting a song after you just had a child that is promoting while they doing flim flam shit to boost these songs' numbers. My op. This is happening. That's happening. So I can only imagine a level of what the fuck? That's like, what are we doing? So when you see that and then I go, all right, let me hear what he got to say. I got to get all the way down to fucking, what is this? I got to get all the way down to song 7. Let's go to the next one. National Treasures. Let me listen to this one.
Yeah. For the city though. Yeah. I gotta light the tower up for this. Yeah. Okay. Out in the 6, I'm a national treasure. The niggas that bad me gon' bad me forever. R.I.P. Kobe, but y'all niggas brokey. That's probably why y'all be shacking together. Capo and Leader got habits together. Like couples vacation, they packing together. Like rushing to finish, then slap it together. The charges like COVID, they'll catch it together. They hate me so much, it's a sickening thing. They must have heard wrong on the call. I sent them a sack cause I wanted you shipped to the king. When you was a part of the team, we used to be planning our Mexico trip in the spring. We must have been dealing in spur of the moment. Cause why did we think you could get us a ring? They bragging about how you went home, the fucker they own. Cody, we threw him away. G-Pop sent us a rim from day one next to him.
This is where the album kind of picks up, but it dips again. But listen, I don't want y'all to take me at face value. Regardless of what, let me go back to the chat. Regardless of what's his name said, I don't really have time. Regardless of what the person that I just had on, regardless of what he said, I want Drake to win. I think Drake win does not come from the music. I think Drake win came from what he did as it relates to the music. I think in putting those 3 albums out and getting out of that situation and opening the door for other situations and getting that freedom, like that pressure. I think that's how Drake wins. I like Drake. I'm not a Drake stan. When Drake do something right, I'm like, awesome. When Drake start rapping, I'm like, fuck yeah, he could rap. When Drake hits you with a melody, Drake is a triple threat. Drake is low key. Y'all gonna disagree with me on this. If y'all ever see Drake act, like on that Movers show, right? Drake is an actor, Drake is a singer, and Drake is a rapper. Drake is like in the same circumference as a Jamie Foxx. Now, before y'all start jumping out there, yes, I do think Jamie Foxx can sing better and can act better. I'm going to be clear. But to have that triple threat, you got to acknowledge it. I am not in any way, shape, or form advocating for Drake to lose. I think Drake wins this war based on the move that he made with this trash music. And I'm also going to tell you all to go buy it. Go buy it. Go buy it. Go buy the album. 1,000% go buy it. Go get all 3 of them. Form your own opinion. I'm not attacking it. I'm just saying from a musical perspective, it's not there. To me, it's not there. And if y'all are like, well, he's always like that. No, he's not. And some of y'all going to say, oh, you just talking about his features. You talk about how he killing on his features. No. No. He's had albums that had no skips. Now there's another question about maybe that was his damn ghostwriters. There's a question about that. Maybe. I think battle-wise, Drake loses the battle and the musical component. But when we factor all of the other stuff that we talked about tonight, I think that was a move on the chessboard. I think he playing better 5D chess than the Trump administration is. But I want you guys to check it out on your own. Anyway, guys, I want to thank you all for tapping in tonight. I want to thank you all for I think his name was, I forget what the brother's name is. Thank you for tapping in. I want to appreciate y'all all for doing that. Guys, make sure you go over and support the channel. Subscribe, be a member. As well as go over to solutionaryuniversity.org, take a class. We talk about all of this stuff, night after night. We have conversations about it. And it's tied into what's behind the surface. If anything from tonight's show, y'all, I want y'all to just, for a moment, just stop and say, yo, let me not look at what's on the surface. Let me look at what's on the back end, because some of the things may not make sense on the surface, but they make sense in the back end. That's the moral of the story tonight. And outside of all of that, I want to make sure that you guys are turning this energy into productive things. Everybody go over to solutionaryuniversity.org, grab a course. Firearms basics, stop the bleed, know your rights, civics. We got a bunch of stuff over there that we get to chop it up, especially on Fridays. We get to chop it up about pop culture and all of these different things. But we want to make sure that we're focused on self-improvement and doing the things going in the proper direction. All right, so go over to solutionaryuniversity.org. Make sure you're chopping it up, learning, and all of those different things. It's very, very important. Bookworm says, don't say it's trash, say it's mid. No, it's trash. I think it's trash. I don't think it's mid. I think it's trash. Either way, learning is not trash. So everybody, go over to solutionaryuniversity.org, grab some some courses, as well as if you guys go over to blackgunsmatter.shop. Let's pull that up as well. blackgunsmatter.shop. All right. You see right here, free shipping on your entire order when you add the Defend Liberty tee. This t-shirt right here, you add this t-shirt to anything on your order and shipping is on us. That's only for the next, you see the clock countdown, right? If you want free shipping, go over to blackgunsmatter.shop, get one of our OG shirts or whatever, right? Like our Most Effective Devil in America shirt. You add our Defend Liberty shirt to whatever other shirt you want to get. and shipping is on us. This is ways that you can support the channel, support our work, and all of those good things. And we appreciate you all for tapping in. Thanks again, guys. We appreciate you. I'll see you guys in a bit. Be safe. Be Solution.